Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. And now here is the trepidatious Voice of Doom. Thanks, everybody. Thought I'd start today with a little graphic design. Headline from 1975, April 30th. Kind of reminiscent of today. A little bit of nostalgia. How many wars do we have to fight that we end up with our tail under our legs? And now it's even worse, because it's almost going to be a perfect storm of madness. So now my diatribing can get full steam. I don't have to have any notes, because I can just talk about the end. And people aren't laughing anymore. That's one nice thing. It used to be a few years ago, it's like, you're just negative. They're not laughing now. How many storms do we have to make it a perfect storm? Well, it went from about a week ago that whatever was saying, there's no way it's going to be like Vietnam. It's not like that. It's going to be orderly. We're going to leave a contingency of ambassadors, and we're going to have, these relations with the Taliban, and we're going to have a normal relations. It's like, yeah, all right. Days later, it's like they're rushing back to get everybody the hell out of there, and they don't know how many people are going to be left that helped. It's like, okay, let's go backwards. Before I can really rage, let's go backwards. Wake up one morning, it's a Tuesday, regular day, nothing new happening in the world, and you suddenly turn on the TV set and see smoke coming out of the World Trade Center. And it's like something weird's going on. And it's like, this is a major thing. It's a major fire. It's like, well, where's the other building? It's like, I wake up at 9, Western time. It's like, wait a minute. So, utter catastrophe. We have to retaliate. We don't go after the countries where these guys came from, who were in the planes. We go after the country that's harboring the guys' philosophical mentors who drove into the buildings. Makes a lot of sense. So let's bomb the shit out of Afghanistan. Great. Good, we did. Now let's rebuild Afghanistan so this doesn't happen again. We tried. We gave a lot of billions of dollars to probably a few 5 or 6 people that are living high on the hog somewhere in Monaco or, Algeria or wherever they're hanging out on the beach, living very well off the money that we gave them to build their country. Trying to nation build, stupid. I don't want to go into detail. Anybody that doesn't know it's stupid by now is delusional. They deserve what's coming. So let's get our guys out. We've trained the Afghani nationalists to, fight. We've given them all kinds of equipment. So let's leave and, let them fight their own battles, and they'll take care of it. So, okay, our solution is to go into a country for 20 years and then leave the enemy a few air bases and a bunch of ammunition and a bunch of tanks and trucks and infrastructure that they take over. And whatever money was used to build the infrastructure of this backwards mountainous country is being taken advantage of by the very enemy that we wanted to keep out and that we tried to get out in the first place, that are kicking our butts as we leave right now. And I told you a few weeks ago that would happen. I didn't want it to happen, but I knew they were going to humiliate, and I know it's going to get bad. What time is it? It's like 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, or whatever time it is, on Saturday, something like the 14th. And by tomorrow, they're going to be evacuating people, and it's going to be just like Cambodia and just like Vietnam. And it's going to be worse because the rubber band has been stretched real taut, and they're going to want their pound of flesh. And they're going to take it out on the very people that were helping us. So not only do we leave them a whole infrastructure and a whole bunch of military equipment to use, but they're going to use it on the very people that were helping us. And then you say, America, yeah, right-wing guys on, whatever channel, America is good. Yeah, the ideals of America are good, but the way they've been used by our so-called government is bad. And to say it's Biden's fault is wrong. It's very wrong, because it can't be his fault, because it's like saying a petri dish full of protoplasm is at fault. I mean, he's not capable of being at fault. You guys don't get it. That's just one part of the storm, and that's going to happen over the next 2 or 3 days. And then it's going to be Cambodia, killing fields, and a lot of bad things are going to happen. China's going to step in. It's going to be fiasco. I said about 109 days. So it's probably kind of going faster than I thought. Okay, what's another part of the storm? Border that's, I don't know, there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's almost as if the powers that be know that it's hopeless, or they know that something's coming up in the future, so it doesn't matter what we do anymore. Print trillions of dollars, make bills that are 10,000 pages long and put them through Congress that spend $6 trillion more dollars. What does it matter anymore? Oh, it's a real lackadaisical, laissez-faire weirdness that makes me suspicious. But then I think, well, they don't seem smart enough to be in on any kind of conspiracy, so it's a dilemma here. I mean, is there something going on that we don't know about? And if they know about it and I don't, then my concept of the universe has to be changed, because they're not bright, in my opinion. So as a dilemma I have to face is, am I smarter than them? And if I am smarter than them, then I give them credit for having a conspiracy. So it's a catch-22 again. But that's another thing. The border is not, I mean, it's another part of the storm that's converging. And then there's real storms coming. I mean, through Florida and what have you. We're going to still have natural disasters. Siberia's burning down, which is very strange. And I'm sure it gives the liberal idiots fodder, because it's all our fault that it's burning down. And the climate is changing. And I don't know how much we have anything to do with it, but like I said before, if you're going to let half the planet have to clean up and the other planet can do whatever, the other half can do whatever it wants, then it's useless. So that whole agreement's useless. And if people are going to talk about climate change and get in their car and drive off in their SUVs, then no. Forget it. You live by what you say or don't say it. I think people think that humankind are way too, full of themselves, thinking that we have the power to change these huge forces of nature. And maybe we do a little bit. But I have a feeling that if we got rid of all the cars tomorrow, I bet you nothing much would happen to the earth other than it would keep burning, because we go through natural cycles of heat and ice. We're just a planet. And if God's watching over us, he's letting the natural forces do what it wants. I mean, it's very obvious. I don't know why I have to go on about this. It's a perfect storm of madness and bloodshed. Because I have a feeling that these Taliban guys are going to wait till the last of our guys limp out of here and take whoever, and then whoever's left over, and they can be friend or foe, they're going to have a bloodbath because it's happened through history. It's happened with Pol Pot, it happened with the Vietnamese, it happens with China. And let's not even talk about the political repercussions of Afghanistan going into chaos. They're going to ally with China. And that's 3 months down the line, we're going to have a big altercation going on, and whatever's in the petri dish ain't going to know what to do. And his advisors are going to be apoplectic, and they're going to start resigning, or they're going to drown in their own sweat as they face the public. Because sooner or later, the truth will out. It doesn't matter how you paint it, and the media can say whatever. The media can call Biden the most prolific statesman that ever walked the earth. The truth will out. And I hate to see that happen, because cause and effect is very strict. And I'm kind of fired up today. I have a lot to say about the end, because I'm right. And people should know it. And time is growing nigh. And I haven't even talked about the third and fourth and fifth part of the storm, which is too horrid to talk about. Shouldn't be uttered. But yeah, we got enough problems without worrying about pandemics, so-called, and what we're doing about them, how we're treating them. But I won't get into that. I will just say that the next 3 months, we might see some major upheavals, and economically, whatever. Not too worried about that, because that's going to all fall apart. That goes without saying, because there's no way it can't. So you watch and see what happens. I'll probably just do more diatribing along these lines. I didn't say anything. I just ranted. And I can't even make it stretch out, because I've already said everything. They're going to be scampering around, grabbing the flags and shredding papers and getting as many people out as they can, and they'll try to get more troops in to get more people out, but then they'll realize, what about all the people throughout the country that have been allies? And the savages, they don't play by the same rules, and they're going to just get draconian. And I just see bad things that are going to be worse than 1941. So we'll see what happens. On that happy note, I think I'll call it today and leave it at 13 minutes exactly, because that's a lucky number. And we'll talk more about this later. Have a good afternoon, everybody. Bye.